Hey. Welcome to another stream. This time I'm going to be flying from Taiwan up to a place called NAHA, which is in Okinawa. I might just turn that sound. Oh, I can't. Actually, yes, I can. See if I can drop the sound for those ground services. No. Preferences. No, I can't do much about that. Well, they're pretty well finished anyway, except for the field truck. So I might just get rid of them. Very noisy. There we go. Unfortunately, with IXEG Boeing 300, none of the doors open except for the cargo doors. I'll probably bring over the ground power supply for it anyway. And I'll close the cargo doors already. There they go. Just go inside, it's a bit quieter. Okay, ground power is on. Let's get the batteries up. Why don't they click over for me? Usually gives the time up there. It's not showing up. Try it here. There it is. Okay. Window heat could come on. I might move him out of the way for the moment. And we'll get the galley on. And we'll get our position on. Don't need any collision just yet. Let's go down to here. And our FMC on, position. ICAO code is Romeo Charlie Tango Papa. And up to ROAH is Romeo Oscar Alpha Hotel. Now that noise is still driving me mad outside, so I think I'll get rid of them altogether. That's better. Oh, much better. Okay, back inside. We're going to use a company route, so we just have to take that one, add in Romeo Oscar Alpha Hotel. Activate. Tiger Air flight number I didn't worry about today. Our runway we're going to be departing from is going to be 36 right. Not in the database. Well, it is, but anyway. Here's our route. Okay, menu, go back here, go to index and our performance. Right, here we go. Our block fuel for this flight from Simbrief, 13861. So we'll come back on that. Make that 139 instant. Our load sheet, our zero fuel weight is 103.8. That's pretty close already. So we don't need this anymore until we disconnect the power supply, the ground power. Now if I put in the zero fuel weight, 103.8, it should give us our gross weight as well. Our reserves, we're going to take 2. Our cost index is 10. And quick look at Simbrief. What was Simbrief giving me? Giving us flight level of 330. And okay, cruise wind is going to be 270. 024. And our top climb outside temperature is going to be -37. Transition altitude for Taiwan is just looking up. 11,000. Execute. N1 limit. We're going to do outside. We'll do 45. That'll give us an 89 reduced or reduction. 89% take off. Flaps 5. V1 133. 135. 144. Now before I set the bugs, I'm probably going to get up here and get our temperature. Make sure we've got some bleed on, otherwise this temperature goes out of control. Okay, APU can come on. And it was 33,000, so we'll set this now. So 33,000 will give us 6.4 for the cabin altitude. I won't worry about landing altitude at this stage. Okay, up here again. We can put on our GPU, APU, sorry, and we can clear away the GPU. We don't need this anymore. Flick that up to APU, this over to Gen. Okay, we should put on our fuel because we're APU's on. We're going to be at flight level 330. And our V speed is going to be 133 knots. And we're going to be taking off from 05 right, and the heading for that is 540 degrees. I'm going to flick on our flight directors already. Everything's good there. I'll come down here and we'll have to set the bugs. Doesn't look like, oh yeah, we are aligned. So we've got 133, 135, 144. Okay, first one goes all the way around to 250. Second one will be for V3. That's 144, that's about there. Now V2 is going to be 135, which is just going to be about there. This one will be dead on V1, and this one at 80. So it's set. Q&H is a 1020. So we'll have to set the back up. And the first officer. Right, that's okay. Now departure. And that should be runway 05 right. There we go. And according to SINBRIEF, our first waypoint, or our SID, will be Kudo 1A, there we go. Execute that. Let's have a look at our legs. That's our steps we can do. Make those a bit bigger. Here we go. Through the steps. And up to Doha. This looks good. As far as stars concerned, we'll put them in. We're going to ROAH, and we're going to be landing at runway 36 right. Here's our ILS. ILS is here, that's left. ILS 36 right. That's Y, Z. Let's take Y. And it should be NTOX 5 in. So it'll be any of the NTOX. Okay, back there. Look at our legs, go through and check for discos. There's one. And there's our steps over there. Just bring that, take that out a bit. Execute. Legs, we'll go through them. It's looking good. We're done. Oh, there's a few. We don't need to use our tanks, our center tanks. That can go off. We'll set our RTO while we're here. This can show our climb. Let's go over and start up our flight bag, airport. Charlie, Tango, Papa. Taiwan, Taiwan International. Parked here, and we've got to go down to 05 right here. Let's have a look at our departure. Kudos, kudos. We'll go to kudos here and then up. So that's about it. Go back to that one. Okay, looking good. Passengers can be seated. And I'd say we're just about ready for pushback. Our temperature's a little bit low up there. Flick over to cabin. Could bounce up a bit. We can always make it a little bit warmer, can't we? See what happens. Okay, we can put on our bleed. Everything's right. So it looks like we'll go back. We're going to go up here. Oops, our runway's up here. So it'll be a left turn back this way. We're ready. Okay, put on the anti-collision light. Strobe can come on later. We don't need a logo, it's daytime. Everything else is right. Wing lights we don't need. Okay, I'm going to put my yaw damper on now. Hey, how are you, Pilot Jack?
All doors and hatches are closed. Ready.
Not too long. Because you can see this is the Boeing 300. I don't like wing tips on this aircraft because of its age, but I know that those who are still flying them modernise them. Roger, thank you. Those packs are going to come off, of course. And we should see the N2 rising. There we go. Yeah, I am Pilot Jack. 21, coming up 25. We can introduce fuel for the right engine. Flaps. And already this one's off, so we can go over to continuous. Start off our left engine now. And watch our N2. Rapidly rising. 22, 23, 24 and 25. And up to here. Already over to continuous. We can put our main generators on, take off our APU, switch off the bleed. This can come down to auto, this to auto, hydraulic pumps on, pitot on. Everything else is looking good. So how's that temperature? It's coming up a bit up here, so that's good. That duct overheat thing I don't know why it does that, but switch it back over here. See, that drops right off. Yep, 737-300, it's getting to be a bit old in the tooth, long in the tooth. There we go. I will, just for you. There it is. Let's have a quick look at our controls. Check out our steering. Good enough. There we go. Disconnect hand signals. And what I might do is I'm going to put on the flight here. I always seem to have trouble with that temperature. And let's put our strobe on and let's go to TAR8. Actually, no, Pilot Jack, it isn't. It's just you don't have the big glass control, glass cockpit. But it's pretty good. It's not hard to get used to it. And of course, if you pop them up, they come up on the left-hand side there. I've got them. I've got assignments here on my joystick for all of these. And that'll stay up there until you use them, get the mouse and move it around, then it'll disappear. But you've still got that there. Okay, let's do some taxiing, eh? Everything's right there. And we'll start the clock. Where's the clock? Clock. Here it is, there, starting the clock. Okay, handbrake off. Throttle forward. Yeah, Pilot Jack, if you can fly the 800, you can fly the 300. Just got to get used to where some of the switches are. And it's not a bad aircraft to steer on the taxi either. Doesn't seem to quite sort of wander around a bit like the Zebo does with me. This is the first payware I ever bought for X-Plane, and I really think it was well worth the money. It had a few bugs with it earlier. Some of those have been fixed. There's still problems with the FMC from time to time. Yeah, and with all these steam gauges, you can actually select even the older type than what you have here. I think all you have to do is go into preferences and here use the steam. You can see that's changed to the real old steam gauges there and there. We go right to the end. I think this is it here. I like the way this aircraft floats along a bit when you taxi in. Okay, we'll put our landing lights on and switch off the taxi. So we'll do a rolling start here and put our auto throttle on, advance our throttles and toga. Check. Beautiful. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to fly heading for a while. Put on the autopilot. Watch our climb rate. And start getting our flaps up. Looking good. You can bug up 250. Flaps all the way up. Okay, let's go LNAV. And we can go VNAV. gear centralised. RTO to 0. And we're on our way. That's a great sound. $4,000. Transition height's 11. Looking good. We're on 250 knots. Climb out. Take it back the legs to waypoint 1. Climbing up to 290 knots. Probably not for a while though. Probably at 10,000 feet it should accelerate up to 290. And we should do a right hand turn onto Kudos in a minute. Which matches what we've got here. Coming up to 10, we can turn off our landing lights. Got to really grab those. That can come off. That can come off. Off here, and our passengers can get up. Making our turn now, coming up to 11,000. I might turn that sound down a bit. Hope that sounds better. 11,000, we can go over to standard barrow. And over to our first officer as well. Now it's just up to cruise height. And we're going to be turning to Lekos for 54 degrees. And we'll set our heading is on 54. Oh, that's the next waypoint after this one. This is 112. There we go. Now this flight's about an hour. So how long have we been in the air so far? That can't be right. Only 10 minutes. It could be right. And it looks like we're picking up some VORs at the moment. We're getting some DME distances showing up. And I'll bring this across so you can see where we're going. Here's Taiwan. Here is where we left, Taiwan International. We're just coming up now to waypoint Kudos, and we'll be travelling all the way up here to Okinawa, and we're landing at NAHA. In the big Air Force base here. So we have to keep clear of that. And we'll be coming in on the 18 right ILS approach. This is not a very good scenery in Little Nav map. There's actually another runway across there. For some reason it doesn't show up. Yeah, of course you can use Little Nav map, or you can use Navigraph. We'll just centralise that. So all we have to do here is just hit flights, active flight, new flight from SimBrief. Use this one, hit that, up she comes. And there's our route in Navigraph. What we can do is move this out. Oh no, first off, yeah, we can move this out of the way, and we can go to the end to bring up ROAH. Hit this one down here, move that out of the way, and here's our stars. I think it's NTOC South. That'll be NTOC North, because we're to come around. Yeah, so we're coming up and around here. So it's arrivals 18 left, 18 right. Let's have a look at our approaches. 18 left, I said we were going to use sorry, it's runway right. 18 right. So there's our approach. So you can see you can use a Navigraph or a Little Nav map. And our heading to Papso will be 74 degrees. We'll go for the 80 nautical mile radius there. And we probably don't need this anymore, which means we can put in ROAH. So there we're just getting the same thing with our Avi tab, the same information that we're getting with Little Nav Map and also with Navigraph. So that's our approach. Here's our airport details, and there you can see that airport that Little Nav Map, the runway, Little Nav Map doesn't show up. You've got a bit of a causeway here to bring it over to the all the gates. They must have added this at some stage extra. And if we go back to our approach, and if we get ILS runway 18 right, everything's there. So that'll be exactly the same map that we just saw before, the same chart we saw before. And it looks like there's a DME approach if you want it. It's probably more for coming up from the south. Just double check here, we've got the right one, runway 18 right. And we've got our frequency and our course to set shortly, once the aircraft is at cruising height, which we're coming up to very shortly. Nearly there. Yeah, because it's not such a long flight, we didn't have to worry about any fuel in the centre tank. Okay, outside temperature I should have looked at. Where are we? It's usually over here. minus 50 degrees outside. I'll just switch back over to the other steam gauges. See, because they show the temperature at the top here, minus 27. I'll play it safe and just get some anti-icing on, just for the engines. Okay, flight level 330. And we're going to start checking out a few things. Okay, progress, type of descent is 92 nautical miles, so not far to go. So what we can do is look at our initial references and for our VREF. And VREF in this case is going to be, I like flaps 30. I know you're supposed to add on 5, but she could be a little bit hard to handle coming in at anything over 140 knots. See how we go. I can make a note that's 143, and here's our frequencies for the ILS for that runway. I don't know why it's saying 36 right. That just might be information. Just double check this. 11015. Now there's a difference. We're not going for 36 right. We're actually going for 18 right. I must have put the wrong thing in there before. Let's try this again. 18 right. And its waypoint is Endoc November. Execute. Legs. Salsa. Execute. Okay, we've got runway 18 right in where it should be. Legs again. Okay, let's go now and have a look at our init ref. And it's 11015, which is exactly what we want. And of course a 182. Here it is there. Our VREF's going to stay the same. So what we'll do first, we'll put in the course up here already. It's a 182. Wow, that moves quickly. One more, come on. Okay, 182. And again, we got a 11015. Okay, back up here, we're going to set some fixed rings in. First one at 20 nautical miles. Second one we'll do at 10. And the last one we'll do at 5. There's our legs. Now because I changed things over, I might just check out our steps. There we go, they look good. Can go back to where we were. having trouble with my range button at the moment. Still having trouble with it. There we go, that's it. Okay, back on progress. We've got 105 nautical miles till we get to our top of descent. Back over here, let's have a look. Our initial approach fit, wow, that's low, isn't it? 1200. That is low. Alright. Okay, our decision height or decision altitude will be 263 on Barrow. $20, $40, $60, that's about there. Right, another thing to check. Active sky. Briefing. Yep, candidate runways 18 left, 18 right, so we're okay there. Now we've got, let's have a look, we've got 260 degrees, 9 knots, that's okay, we can handle that. And we've got a few clouds at 2000, scattered at 3. Outside temperature 24, dew point 18, QNH 1018. Make a note of that. Look ahead and see what the weather's like. Yeah, it's not too bad, there's not a lot of clouds. Okay. Alaska. Didn't see you there. And Pizza Pizza. That's a great name. Gee, Alaska, I made it to 100 after 3 or 4 years. That's not bad going, is it, eh? Dear. Send anyone you like, mate. I don't worry too much about numbers these days. You know, if people want to watch me, they will. You ping Discord. Just don't send me any of your trolls, mate. I don't know whether I could handle them. Now we're coming up on, still a way to go, top of descent. What do we got? 75. Gee, I got 11 likes, wow. I'm beside myself. There you go, Alaska, that's what I'm flying at the moment. Notice it's got a Australian registration on it. Now, Tiger Air's got a number of, what would you say, subsidiary airlines in Southeast Asia. I think there's one in Indonesia, and I think there's another one up, could be the Philippines or somewhere. And of course we had one in Australia, but the COVID, I think, is pretty well knocked it out of the sky. Okay, mate, enjoy your dinner. I'm supposed to be having a lunch right now. It's coming up 12, but I'll see this through before I worry about eating. Getting a lot of background from the house here, guys, just ignore that. It's when they start clanging the pots and pans that it really makes it hard. Yeah, I had to turn the mic down then, otherwise you guys would be hearing someone on the phone. Might be a good idea one day if I got the money to get a soundproof room. How are we going here? Getting closer. Alright, seeing that we know what our initial approach fix is and we don't have ATC to vector us to different altitudes, I'm going to be lazy. I'm just going to put in our initial approach altitude so that we should pick up the localizer at looks like the waypoint party. Like I said before, 1200's a bit low, but anyway, it is what it is. So let's do that now. I thought for a minute there it was descending, but it's just turning. I saw the nose dip. Give me a bit of a fright. Because this particular IXEG aircraft does have some little bugs from time to time, and they sort of suddenly show up out of nowhere, particularly with the FMC. I'm always wary about whether it'll actually go into a descent when it comes up to TD, but so far it's been pretty good. But one thing I did sort of find out was if looking at the MFD, and you can see the top of descent bug, or whatever you want to call it, sitting there. I found that if it's over to one side, left or right, and not on that magenta line, it will not descend. That was just one of the little problems with the FMC. It seems to have behaved itself these days since the last update, which is probably now going back quite a few months, probably getting close to a year ago now. So we'll go up the legs again, and we've got we're on 90. We're on a course at 94. The next one we're going to go is 95. And what have I got the heading on? Oh, it's okay, 95. It's something I do quite often, is to try and always match the heading with the actual course you're on, and the one that is in the FMC. I just do that as a little bit of a safety backup. G'day Chris Simulation, thanks for joining the stream. I'm just wondering, did Alaska send you over here? Yeah, and getting back to what I was saying, I like to do that as a backup, because if suddenly the FMC does something stupid and you don't want to go wandering all over the sky, but just maintain your current heading using the autopilot, of course, then it'll just keep going. But if, for example, you've got the heading set at some crazy degree and you hit the heading select button here, yep, it's going to take you way off the course you want to travel. So just something I do. So we'll narrow down the range now to 20. So you can see we've got approximately another 10 nautical miles before we come to TD. And just before we do, something to keep in mind too is here's all your flap settings in this aircraft. One thing you'll notice, you can take flap 1 at 230, flap 2 at 230, flap 5 225, and then flap 10 at 210. So it means that you can really put your flap flap number 1 out while it's doing 230 knots. Anything over that, of course, is not desirable, and I tend to use my flaps settings a lot more than I like to use the speed brake. Although this particular aircraft, this little 300, is very slippery compared to, say, the 800. So we should start to see our throttles come back. The IXEG have built in what they call a ghost throttle setting, and you'll see that on the right. And the idea is you should match your physical, here we go, now you can see it on the right down here. So you should match your own throttles with the AT sign there. And then once you've got your throttles all the way back, it'll disappear. So that tells you basically, yes, you've got your throttles right back at idle. Okay, now let's have a look at our speeds. 268 over here. Roughly 268. It's speeding up a little bit, you can see. That's to be expected. We're on a descent and we're vertical speed at 4,000 feet a minute. Now it wants us to put the drag on. And again, like I said before, I don't use the drag all that much unless the FMC tells me to. And that's usually only due to the initial descent phase. Once you get down to the 240 knots, 210, you don't quite need it that much if you're using your flaps to help you out. It looks like it's going to be a bit late in the evening, but that's okay. If our lighting falls off, we can come down here. Trouble is that yoke can't be moved. It can be dropped down, but it can't be moved out of the way in the IXEG, which can be a little bit of a pain. So to get to the panel lighting, you've got to come over up here. And that light says a nice fluoro light underneath that panel. Okay, we can take off our speed brake again, because our speed's matching the bug. Now you can, if you want, you can move your speed bugs here to match your VREF. So if you look here, you can move these out of the way if you want. And our, remember our VREF was 143 plus 5, 148. So you can actually put it about, what's 148? It's about here. So we probably need to put our drag on again, because if you notice our speed increased past the bug. As I said, she's a very slippery little aircraft, this one. Landing, it's a real challenge. It's not too often I ever get a butter with this one. More often than not, it's a hard landing. Still wants to drag. Says it can come off now, so I'll take it off again, because obviously it's close enough to matching a set FMC speed, 280. Now it comes on again, so you can see on and off with the drag, meaning she's very slippery. So actually transition height for NAHA is 140 and not 11,000. So we'll keep that in mind. Drag off again. You get the warning here on the FMC, and you also get a light up, where was it? Up here. Some sort of annunciator they have up there. So we're just slightly below the bug speed, so that's good. She's behaving itself. And we're coming up to our 20 nautical mile outer ring, gives us an indication of how close things are. So 14,000 is our transition height. So QNH, I said before, was 1018. Let's set the back up. And look after our first officer. Okay, so that's our altitude barometer settings sorted out. Now the bug switched over to 240, wants drag again. This is a fairly rapid descent. And again, it's dropped back down to 2,000 feet a minute. Now, I could have put the weather radar on, and also you can use that for the terrain radar. But we're over the ocean, and probably no real need for it. Let's have a look at our outside temperature. So it's back to 9 degrees, so we can switch off our... But we might want to have our panel brightness up here, because things are getting a bit dull. And still we've got to keep our drag on. I'd say we're in for a nighttime approach. Come in at 10,000. Okay, let's get our passengers seated. And our landing lights can come on. Now, I don't normally switch over the engine start switches to continuous until we're roughly about 5 nautical miles from landing, which is something that I picked up from a real world pilot doing flight sims. You probably know him. Flight sim deck to sim. Okay, speed's coming down nicely now, even without the... I've still got the drag on, that's why she's coming down. It'll probably slow down a bit now, come back up to the bug speed. Let's have a look at our 10 nautical mile area now. That was 40, sorry, let's go back. 5, 10, that's a 10. That's a 20 mile nautical ring there. Okay, speed to 40. Okay, it says here that on waypoint theta should be at 240 knots and 2000 or above. We're at 8,000, so we're going to drop another 6 in the next 18, although that's above. As long as we're at 1200 feet, gee, that's, like I said, that's slow. By another roughly 5 nautical miles, we should be able to level off and pick up the here we are, drag again. She wants to get away, see that? Now I could purposely leave the drag on and then bring the first flap setting in right, like I said. I can even go to flap 2, as long as I'm not exceeding 230 knots. Yeah, it's taking away the drag sign, so but I can leave it on if I want. But if it doesn't like it, you'll see the throttles will speed up, and basically saying, hey, I want to go slower than what you want. Sorry, I want to go faster than what you want. So now we're coming to the 230 mark. Because I've got the speed brake on. But after this, if I can go without it, I will. So there's the 230. Let's take flap 1, 2, and take the speed brake off. It is speeding up a bit. But it'll it'll let me drop back to 210 in about 10 nautical miles or so. And here's our 10 nautical mile range ring. You notice theta is pretty well on the ring. Speed, altitude's dropping nice and fast. Carson L, hi, thanks for joining us from Geo. G'day Geo. I hadn't looked at chat there for a while because I'm busy, mate. Trying to land this little beast. I'll bet you it gives me a hard time too on the approach. Now we should start to slow down a bit more shortly. Once we reach theta, we'll expand the range ring out to 5. Or the range, I mean. So we're coming up nicely, aren't we? Like I said, I don't like that 1200, but now the speed should start to drop off even a little bit more. See it coming down? 229. And flaps 5 we can do a 225. Why not? Let's take it now. Should be making our turn soon. Yeah, it's dark all right. Now let's set our heading to the course in case we've got to do a go around, and I don't want to do one of them tonight. Now we're nearly going to level off, so speed will drop down further. Coming down, we take flap 10. Okay, what's the localizer doing? Have we picked it up? For some reason we haven't. See if we can catch it somehow. So where did it go? Gear down. Yep. We didn't get the managed to pick up the localizer. Okay. It looks like we're going to have to do a manual. Hands on. 1200. Yep, no sign of it. Didn't work. Should have all been here. 160 knots. That's okay, one more flap setting. And let's go manual. There we go. Just my luck. I'm going to arm the speed brake. Not a nice thing to happen on a night flight, is it? Bring her right back. No good. I make it? No, go around. Damn it. Don't know what happened there. Okay, flaps up. Gear up. I didn't expect that. Let's get it flaps all the way up. I am pulling up. So let's see if I can do a heading. Heading select. And say autopilot. And altitude hold. What am I at? 6,000. Okay. Let's just trim her up. Autopilot came off. So let's 240. I got my hands full here, haven't I? Altitude hold. Didn't want to go to 10. Yeah, I didn't pick up the ILS at all there. I don't know why. Okay, let's go our altitude. Let's set altitude at 3. And let's do a vertical speed. Bring it down. Come back on the speed. Speed select. Yeah, I know. Come down to 3. And if we can, no, we don't want 340 Mach, we want about 240 would be nice. Okay, let's get back up that way. I think we're still coming down. Let's get down a bit faster than this. Let's go vertical speed. Get it down to 3,000. Don't we just love these nighttime approaches and everything goes wrong? Come on, bring that speed down for me. That's good. Let's set her on 10 degrees. Let's have a look. Our speed's coming down nicely to where I want it. Now we're heading back up. It's hard to see it here, but I'll just bring it up. I'm going to go further downwind and sort of not have such a sharp turn as I did there. There's our altitude. Yeah, we should be down about 3 by the time we get past. Yep. There's the airport over there. I'd drop our descent speed, bring it up a bit to about 8. And I should have put on the auto throttle. That would have made life a lot easier. Forgot to turn it back on again. You think I got it, Chief? I hope so. I haven't been having much fun, the success lately with capturing the ILS. I flew the Zebo yesterday and same thing happened. Just didn't pick it up. But then once I landed and started taxiing, it was showing it on the PFD. So what speed have I got shown? 218. Could jump up a little bit. I might have seen that the approach fix on this thing was, what was it again? 1200. I might bring it down to 2000. We'll try again to pick it up, but if not, I'll just have to hand fly it in again. And seeing it's on auto throttle, I can bring back my throttle controls. I'm going to take flap 1 at the moment because we're coming up to 220. Let's have a look. Black as the ace of spades out there, isn't it? So I'm going for a fairly long downwind at the moment. Let's see whether I can capture that glide slope again. Yeah, I'm going to give it a fair distance downwind. You can see the green bananas showing that it's pretty well close to level with the outer range ring. And of course passengers have no idea what's going on, but because we're coming down to 3.8. Probably another 5 minutes. Well, not even that before I commence to turn back. Okay, let's start flaps 2 now. That's a little bit further. Okay, I'm going to do a turn to 90 degrees. Yep, that's okay. 2000 is what it's at. Our original course is 182. And if we look down here, we're pretty well 20 nautical miles out from the final approach. Okay, let's start bringing our speed down a bit. We'll drop it back down to 210. We should be on alt hold now. I will, I'll alt hold. Come on. Stay there. That's it. Okay. There's our speed going, yep. 210, let's take out flap 5. And we're going to make a slow turn over to 182. Down to 120. Yes, still no sign of that localizer. I have a sneaking feeling we're not going to see it. No, steer towards 150. And we'll bring the speed down now to, say, 185. And we're going to come down to 1200, I think it was. Speeds come down to, we can take out flap 10. Still no sign of that. Once we get to 1200, we should theoretically pick it up. No such luck. So we're at 1200 and we'll steer 182. Definitely didn't pick it up, did it? Should be showing now. Nothing. See how far out we are. Yeah, that doesn't look like we're going to. So it's going to be a visual. Okay, let's put our gear down and let's drop our speed down to 175 and get ready for the approach. Yeah, we're just on the end of the glide slope feather. we should theoretically be picking it up, but there's no sign of it. And even the V-lock's on, so. Okay, speed can come down a bit down to 65. And we can take our next flap. Yep, something went wrong with that. It's disappeared. Okay, let's go. Auto throttle is off. I have to try and get it this time, won't I? Hard landing, say no more. Well, I got it down at least. Wow, that wasn't too easy. Okay, let's get our stuff organised here. No, reverse thrust off. Yeah, Chiefy, at least I got the damn thing down. She's usually a lot more easier to fly than this, but it didn't help with the ILS just not picking up. I don't know why. Okay, flaps up, speed brake is up. Let's just put on our taxi. Where are you? There. I'll start up the APU. Now I've got to find my way around this place. Let's have a look. I don't know it in the dark, that's for sure. So we're right down here and we've got to do a left-hand turn all the way up Charlie over to here. So this is going to be a long taxi, I'm afraid. So sit back and relax, guys. Let's get our I never set the auto brakes, but it doesn't matter. She pulled up okay. I know I shouldn't have my landing lights on, but I'll see what it's like once I straighten up here. Am I on the runway or what? Don't think so. No, I'm okay, I'm taxi. Let's see what it looks like without overhead, with just the taxi light. Oh, it's still working okay. Yeah, not the best, but it'll have to do. I might put some of these on here to help. Like I said, it is a long taxi. We've got to go all the way over to here. So I might just speed it up a bit, break a few rules. And we can turn off our flight director. I think it's off. There, that one off. I probably should have used a lot more lighting here. Just a bit too busy with things. I certainly don't like go-arounds in the dark. I do like night flights though, but only when everything goes right. I won't be able to do a replay on the landing, you won't see anything, it's too dark. But it said hard landing, so I've got to live with that. Like I said, it's a long taxi. Should be a right turn up here for us now. I think this is it. Yep. Yep. Yeah, you could probably do away with our strobe, can't we? Although, probably leave it on for the moment. Oh, don't tell me, it looks like we've got a bit of a hill to climb in the front. Whoa, I hope we can do it. I will put the strobe off. Did I just accidentally put it on again, I think? That's it, should be. I haven't seen this before at ROAH, but let's see what happens, eh? It's got a problem with the scenery. Whoa, up and over. Wow. Back off quickly. She's rolling down the hill. Now I better find out where I'm going. I think it's all over to the left here. That was a nice little ramp. I think I've got to cross another runway here. Fun doing this at night, isn't it? So I think what happens is I've got to come this way. And somehow or other I've got to get over the runway. Not the best of scenery this particular add-on, but it is what it is. Now I think I've got to swing way to the left here. There we go. Yep, there it is over there. This is weird. I've got to find a gate somewhere. I think there's some on the right here. Well, there's a gate over there that looks promising. Do I know where I'm going? No. Oh, here we go. That's not too bad. Is this the right one? Well, it's going to have to do. I don't think there's any automatic parking on here. Yeah, we're not too bad. A little bit more. So that should do me. Here we go. Where's the parking brake? Can't see anything here. it is. I think. What the devil? Can't find it. Should have lit this thing up a lot better. Really, I should have. What I'm going to do is cheat here a bit and just change the time a bit so I can see. Now I can see. Yeah, well, it was up here. There we go. Alright, okay, let's put on our APU. Switch off our lights. Position off. That can stay on. Collision can come off. These two can come off. We'll leave the aft one on, and we'll stop our engines. Now, I don't think the gates, water gate works here. Yeah, good. Thanks, Chief, for dropping in and saying hello. And WC IXEG, thanks also. I didn't think it was all that good a landing, but managed to get it down okay. And I don't think it will. We can have a look and see what happens, but I don't think I can show the replay because it was in night time. See if I'm right. Oh, I can. How about that? Just come back a little bit. Okay, let's see how bad this was. Oh, it was hard, but was it all that hard? I didn't think it was all that bad. Let's go back and have another look. Looks a lot different in the day, doesn't it? A little bit hard, but gee, didn't wobble the wings. Let's go back just quickly. Let's have a shift 3. Oh yeah, came in fast. Came in real fast there. That's from the tower. You can see how they built that second runway out. It's really a high view, isn't it, for a tower view? Jeez, did I almost get the wheels down? All 3? Have a look. Jeez, I did. I'll check that again from the side, eh? a 3-point landing. It was a 3-point landing. Never done that ever before. Anyway, so guys, that's about it. I want to thank those of you who managed to come along and join in. And just going down the list here, Pilot Jack, Pizzazz, Alaska 5559. Don't know who he is, but WC Avgeek, Chris Simulation, Geo Woof Woof, Chief Sim Pilot. So thanks again, guys, for watching. Went a lot longer than I thought, of course, because of the missed approach, but otherwise I managed to get her down, and that's all that matters, eh? So until next time, see ya.